Adam has had a tough time during this war, more than most. He managed to survive the initial onslaught with his wife Barbara and his daughter Amelia, but then it all went wrong when they failed to escape the city. Barbara became ill, and without the proper meds to fight the infection, she died soon after. Amelia then became completely shut off, barely talking or smiling. She used to be so carefree. Adam did his best to provide for her, both food and medicine, and things started to look up. Until one night, Adam was so exhausted he couldn't keep himself awake to guard, and he awoke to an empty bed. Amelia was gone, and he was going to do whatever it took to find out who took her. The first thing to do was to recount the days before she was taken to see if that gave any clues to where she could be. Only a few days ago, Adam had been searching through the wreckage of the house they were sheltering in and found a soft plushie for her to have, and he'd also managed to find some food for her, so she was doing alright. The next day, Adam managed to convince the trader to come back with medicine for her. He had to give away everything they had, but it was worth it. Yesterday, however, he had a less than welcome visitor. His brother. Desperate to leave the shelled city, Adam's brother had tried to convince him to use Amelia to escape through a humanitarian corridor. However, Adam knew there was no way that Amelia would survive the journey. That was his brother's selfishness coming through, trying to save his own skin. He sent him away and went back to tending for Amelia, and that's when he blacked out. So now he's here, without his daughter. I'm sure there must be some clues around here to help him work out where she went though. The first thing he did was check the bed. There were no clear signs of struggle. Clearly, Amelia knew the person who took her. There seems to be no other signs throughout the house. But then, by the front door, footprints of a grown man. I think it's about time that Adam paid his brother a visit. Upon arriving at his brother's, Adam finds a lot of resources, but no actual sign of his brother or Amelia. However, he does find some pamphlets that mention the humanitarian corridor, and one that specifically says that Adam's brother should stop by the pharmacy on his way out. Sounds like that's the next stop on the search. Weirdly though, it looks like his brother's gun cabinet is still locked in the basement. That's strange. Anyway, time to head home. When Adam gets home, he realises that he's no use to Amelia in his current state. He hasn't slept since he blacked out, and has barely eaten since his wife died. He decides to take care of himself, put some of his brother's resources to good use. Now with a full belly and a full day's sleep under his belt, he's ready for the pharmacy. The pharmacy isn't looking good though. The muddy footprints by the door mean the kidnapper was, or still is, here. Grabbing what he can while he slowly searches through the med shop, he stumbles upon the basement. There, he finds med wrappers, syringes, and even bandages. Looks like someone was hurriedly looking for something. And worst of all, among the debris sits the plushie he found for her, now covered in dirt and soot. Amelia was definitely here, but where is she now? And where's his brother? Unfortunately, that second question was about to have an answer. Adam's brother was stabbed and left to die here. Was he trying to protect Amelia? Who has her now? Adam follows the footsteps and the blood trail back to the back alley. There he sees them continue down the streets towards the school and the gas station. Unfortunately, day is breaking and he needs to head home. Seeing his brother's body really shook Adam, and he realised he couldn't go and find Amelia unarmed anymore. This is the new state of his world, unfortunately. For now, a crowbar will have to do, as he can use that to break down doors as well. Hopefully he can get something a bit stronger in the next day or two. Anyway, time to rest up for the gas station. The gas station seems abandoned, so Adam decides to not make it a wasted trip and starts to grab anything that may be useful for crafting. Midway through digging through some rubble though, he's proved wrong. There is somebody else here. Maybe they know something about Amelia. Unfortunately, this seems to be a dead end. But at least we can trade and get some more food in exchange for some of the meds we've picked up. Adam decides to then grab what he can and get out of here. He needs to prepare for a trip to the school tomorrow night. Adam is able to arm himself better for that trip. He's put together a makeshift knife, which means he should be able to defend himself if it comes to it. Sleeping through the rest of the day will leave him well rested for whatever the school throws at him. He also had a quick survey around the gap between his old apartment across the way and where he is now. He thinks he could probably make a bridge if he had a few more resources. Maybe something across there could help him in his search. The school seems pretty empty, but there are some resources here he could use. Right at the back though, he does meet some inhabitants. It seems a collection of homeless people have found shelter in the basement here. Maybe one of them knows what has happened to Amelia. Adam goes through one by one, asking if they've seen anything. Unfortunately, no one has. The search seems to be doomed, until one old man speaks up. This bastard required payment for any information he has. 2 raw food. Looks like he'll need to go get some food for him if Adam ever wants to see Amelia again. War really brings out the worst in people. Will Adam ever find the food he requires to get in the information? Will this hunt lead him to his daughter? What other dangers lie in wait for him on this fateful journey? Find out next week in the second and final part. Subscribe to be notified of its release, and I'll see you all then.
Swear I won't forget this, why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling